Alrighty, here we go. 12 inch, 14, 16 and 18. This is not going to be as polished as your videos, Calabash, but I'll give it a go. Using nickels, US nickels. I'm going to put one in the bottom of each tube, fill them with sand, and I'm going to bury them a couple of meters apart. Alright, I will be stopping the video because there's going to be too long otherwise. Okay, back soon. Stop recording. Okay guys, here comes part 2. So, we have a 12 inch tube and a 12 inch hole. That'll be 14 inches, 16, and finally that'll be 18 inches. So I've got 4 US nickels, so they will sit right at the bottom there. I'll be filling that with sand shortly. Second US nickel, 14 inches. $16. And 18 inches. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to fill those with sand, and I'm going to fill the hole so the tubes will be flush. Guys, first detector is going to be the GP3500 with a 14 inch double D coil. I don't know if you can see this alright, but going to be running through a few of the timings, but we'll do normal soil and salt, and we'll keep it in deep. We'll try a couple of these, but generally normal is the deepest setting. So I've got the little external speaker hooked up. It's a little bit noisy with wind and surf, but we'll see how we go. First things first is a noise cancel. This takes about a minute. That's not too bad. Okay. Right there is 12 inches buried. Nickel at the bottom of the pipe. 14. Actually, start again. 18 at the end. 16. 14 and 12. So high tide's backed off, but this ground's fairly wet. The bottom of the hole was just starting to flood. All right, we'll do a bit of a ground balance here. Okay, first target, 12-inch US nickel. That's it right there. A little bit of salt response. Come back the other way. But that's fairly stable. I wouldn't want too much more salt signal. This detector only runs at one speed, that's flat out. So that's a normal timing. Going to put it into salt. Rebalance. Yeah, it's a similar response in the salt timing. Okay, 12 inches, let's go to 14. Salt timing. Right over it here at 14 inches. I'm hoping you can hear that with the surf. That's the tube right there, where my foot is, or toe. Go past the target. I like to do that just so you see what the background's like. Not too bad. Whoop. Okay, I better watch that with my gear up there. Okay, stand by. Bit of surf today. I'm just going to kill the video just so I can find the top of my tubes again. Stop video. Stop video. Okay guys, I'm back. Just had to find out where the tube tops were again. So just back over the 14 inch. Right over it there. Bit more salt signal now with that water coming in. Yeah, I would stop for that. Back on the 12 inch. Yep. Yep. I would just stop for that. Let's try 16. Nah. I'm saying no because there's a very similar salt signal going over the target right now. Nah. Nah. Not at 16. No signal. Back to 14. Just. Let's go back to normal timing. Rebalance. Yeah, that's quite a bit of salt signal there. So the normal timing is just a little bit noisier. Yeah. So it does need the salt timing's the best, the deepest for this conditions. 14 at a stretch. Inches. 14 if you can hear it amongst the surf. Oh, that's a very borderline signal considering it's very similar off target. Oh, 14's being generous with this detector in these conditions. What I'm running, salt, deep, all the other settings are pretty much standard. They don't affect the performance. So that concludes my testing with this detector. I'm going to switch over to the Manticore. Stand by. Okay. Back with the Manticore, guys. It's a bit noisy today, but I'll do my best. My settings, I have the volume on max because I'm using the detector speaker, so I'm hoping we can hear it. I use search mode beach deep. It's pretty similar to beach low conductors. Noise cancel, ground balance is generally 0, recovery speed 4, Ferris limits 210, and prospecting audio. At the moment I'm running 23 sensitivity with the M8 coil. Noise cancel. Okay. I'm going to try and time it in between the crashing waves. So, stable. 12-inch nickel. Past the target, still stable. Saturated wet sand. "12 inches, easy." That's with an 8-inch coil. Every time the water comes in, I lose the top of my tubes. Okay. Stop recording. Okay, back again, guys. 14-inch nickel. So it's stable off the target. Nothing. 14 inches. Sensitivity 23, that could probably go to 24 with an 8-inch coil. No worries at all, 14 inches. See how stable it is around, so I'm not overdriving the detector at all. Back over the target. off the target. "14" target ID and a small dot on the centre line. This is a 16". This might be a stretch with this coil. Sensitivity still 24. Same about the surf, sorry. That is stable. Going over the target now. That is a response. No target ID, no dot. Just want to make sure there's no salt signal compared to the target. Nothing there. Just grabbing it at 16. Just. No salt signal. You don't get much with an 8" coil. You can drive it at 24 sensitivity. Right there. That would be the max for that coil. 18 inches, I don't think so with this coil. No. Okay, let's go on to a bigger coil. Guys, I'm back with the 9" coil. "24", still very stable, away from the target, no EMI, no salt signal. I'll drop it 1, that's 23. 12" nickel. Yeah, it's not even a challenge for that. 14". So I've noise cancelled, I've ground balanced, approaching the target. Wait for that wave to back off. Yeah, 14 inches. 16" nickel. Nice and quiet, no salt signal, not overdriving the machine. No worries at all. Quiet, nothing. Beautiful. Manticore likes to be swept pretty fast. If you go slow, you don't get a particularly defined target audio. Speed it up a bit. Just kills it. Okay, let's try the 18 with a 9" coil. Nice and quiet. Going past, there's no audio anywhere else. Except over that 18" nickel with a 9" coil. Just waiting for that wave to quieten down. That's smooth. "18 inches. I'll come this way, 90 degrees. A little bit softer. I can imagine it with headphones it'd be even that much clearer. That is a bit noisy, guys, I'm sorry. There's a bit of a breeze and there's a bit of a swell today. Just waiting for a quiet lull. Okay, stop audio. I'm going to do one more test with the 11-inch coil. I've dropped the sensitivity down to 22, and I'm hoping I'm going to bring the detector speaker to the camera, see if you can pick up the... That's fairly stable. "12-inch nickel. Again, there's no salt signal at all around the target area. Going over the target now, 14-inch US nickel. 16. Piece of cake. 18. Just wait for that wave to back off. 18-inch US nickel. And going past, no salt signal, no falsing, no voodoo magic, Calabash. Back over the target, 18-inch nickel, and I'm a bit above it. Bear in mind, this is running the audio through the speaker. I'm not using headphones, and it's a bit noisy and breezy. So I reckon that's a pretty good effort. I'm right over the tube, right over the nickel. Nothing here, nothing around the target. "18 inches. Smokes my GP3500 in these conditions. Yeah, there's no black sands. It's just a typical Australian beach for this part of the world anyway, down in Western Australia. My 3500 is for the goldfields and it's a beast. But pulse out here, there's no advantage, there's a disadvantage. All right, there we go, guys. And what I'll do, I'll just go to beach low conductors. All other settings I've got the same. Balance fine, zero jet ground balance is pretty good for most salt conditions here. So this is beach low conductors. It's just, yeah, it's not quite as punchy as the deep mode for me anyway. Yeah, I probably wouldn't stop for that. Anyhow, that's my settings and that's my results, and I'll dig up these targets shortly. Okay guys, just to make sure I'm not doing anything weird, I'm going to dig up the tubes. It'll take some doing. That's the 14-inch nickel. There's my pinpointer, US nickel down the bottom. Come on out, baby. She's down there, she's a bit stuck. Anyhow, she's down there. Here's my 12-inch. 12 inches. See if she comes out. Man, these things are stuck. There she goes. US nickel. $16 inches. It's a 16-inch tube. 16 inches US nickel down the bottom. And 18-inch nickel. That's an 18-inch nickel down the bottom. So guys, that is a wrap for me. I hope this was useful, and good luck to whatever detector you use, whether it's a VLF or a pulse. Be happy, safe hunting for your summer, and adios.